Welcome back to the show. As you can see, I am surrounded by art and two fabulous artists, and we are going to talk about calligraphy to start off with. Talk about several other things today, but I am delighted to introduce you to Paul Herrera. And Robert Borter is not a newcomer to this show. He was on not too long ago with the Watercolor Society of Central Texas. But Robert, you wear two hats. You were president of the Waco Calligraphy Guild, and Paul, you were vice president. So I've got the leaders here with us today. First of all, what is calligraphy? When I think of that, I think about wedding invitations.
Right.
But
Well, basically, calligraphy is beautiful writing, which is legible. I always add that part. Beautiful writing. Yeah.
so Robert, how did you get involved with this? I know you're a wonderful watercolor artist, and we'll talk about some of your watercolor that you see here on the set. Um,
Well,
did that predate your painting or?
no, so it was happened at the same time. I think I was, in high school when I was taking some private art lessons and just sort of fell into hand lettering and learned what they call italic hand and sort of practiced it on and off. Did wedding invitations for some family members on and off, but not not really haven't like studied, worked at it really hard until I retired and got involved with the calligraphy group here. So now I try to put in some practice hours every day uh, to get my skills up, and it's real rewarding. There's it's a huge area for people to study, and everyone has sort of their likes and dislikes. Like for instance, wedding invitations. That's a lot of times done with a pointed pen. It's called copperplate writing, and other people like italic, which is a broad point pen, and it gives a different feel, and different character to your writing. So it's a huge subject, and it bears directly with some of the things that Paul does as far as monuments, writing monuments and gravestones and all types of things that would last hundreds and thousands of years.
Yeah, Paul, you kind of kicked this whole thing up several notches. In that aside from, I know you brought some tools here, the
Right.
pen, you mentioned the pen,
Sure.
Robert,
Yeah. Hmm.
and a brush,
And a brush. Yeah.
but you also use a chisel and a hammer.
Mallet and chisel. Yeah. And you'll probably show an image of the mallet and chisel that I use. And the mallet is a homemade mallet. It's weighted to a certain weight, so you get a good purchase with the chisel whenever you strike the chisel with the mallet. But everything that I do generally uses a V cut, and so carved an awful lot of Imperial Roman letters, which you have there in your
Yeah, I'm
hand.
holding one, and this is slate. It's very, very heavy.
That is slate, and it lasts a long time, and you can get incredible detail with the slate. Hopefully, the chisel marks show up on the slate, and so
Oh yeah,
there's a certain technique.
it almost looks feathered or
Yeah, but
filigreed. It's
and
beautiful.
as the saying goes, it's simple, but it ain't easy,
I'll
because
bet.
there are certain requirements. At least the way I was taught by my craft master, and happened to be a priest at St. Ambrose College at the time in Davenport, and so I was fortunate to stumble into his class as an art major, and caught on to this slate inscription business, and it really struck home. So I've been doing it ever since.
Well, I mean, 30 years. You were a protege, though, of Father Edward Katich for quite a while. So let's talk a little bit about what he did. He had some groundbreaking research
Right.
into the methodologies of the ancient Romans and how they inscribed their
Right. And then
artifacts.
the thing about the Romans is they did beautiful inscription work, beautiful letters, let's say, and the pinnacle of those letters are on the Trajan inscription in Rome. which has just about the entire Roman alphabet at the time, first century Rome. And so there were a lot of the Romans basically didn't leave instruction books on how they did their lettering. So they left it for other people to figure out later on in the Renaissance. And so these theories came up of how the Romans constructed their letters geometrically and so forth, because that little spiky point at the top and the bottom of the main stem there is so beautiful, and it adds to the substance of the letter itself, even though it seems to be kind of a secondary element. So what Father Kadich did before he was ordained, he was a sign painter in Chicago and doubled as a jazz musician
Really?
during Al Capone's
I
time.
would
Yeah.
love to have known him.
Oh, he was a character.
I
Yeah.
bet.
But as a student, he was quite a taskmaster as well. So what Father Kadich did is when he went to the seminary in Rome, he, being a very experienced sign painter, he found out in his own mind and through his experience that the Romans were brush writers. They were sign painters too.
Right.
And that's how you got that little element at the top and bottom, and we call it a serif, top and bottom of the main stem of the letter. And so whatever they wrote in stone was carved, and it wasn't necessarily the two-dimensional image, but it was a three-dimensional permanent stone of the image. And so far, Trajan inscription has lasted 2 centuries.
And so what he did was rubbings, and then you were able to help replicate that in a smaller version. Tell me about that.
Well, after Father Kaddish passed, and I inherited his classes at the university, now it's university, I thought that, just reflecting back, a lot of what Father was known for was the Imperial Roman letter. And so many of the jobs that we got in slate was we generally worked in slate. Had to do with the Imperial Roman letter. And so I thought, well, he was known for the Trajan inscription. And so I just took it upon myself to scale down the actual size of the inscription, since I had a rubbing and all the different reference elements that he had, and cut the entire inscription in one piece of slate, half size. So now that slate is out in San Francisco at the Letterform Archive.
Yeah, so it's a whole body of study, I guess, this kind of work. Huh?
Right, yes. And it's something that, we've gotten into. We've talked a little bit about it at Waco Calligraphy Guild.
Oh, yeah.
I gave we call it a program, a 1-hour program. It's just kind of an introductory, in my case, of the slate inscription. And Robert had his hand at cutting slate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah. How
Yeah.
difficult is it?
Oh, it's not easy at all. In fact, I was trying my hand at it, and the first thing I told Paul is, "You gave me a bad chisel."
What's wrong with this?
What's wrong with that? It was his chisel. Nothing matter with that. It was me. But it's really sort of fascinating too. If you see any of these news reports about when they're uncovering things in Pompeii and all of that, you can see the graffiti on the walls are painted just like the inscriptions are. They used a brush, and some of the lettering is just gorgeous that was left over from that sad event. But it's just it serves sort of as a touchstone for all typography for the last 2,000 years. When they started doing the printing press and all of that, a lot of the inspiration for how the characters were made, except for the Germanic side of the black letter, all came from these letters that were carved 2,000 years ago. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah, the fonts that are available to us, Roman times and
Sure, yeah.
and all that. That's so. Back to the calligraphy. What kinds of things do you do? How often do you meet the Waco Guild?
Well, we have a monthly meeting, and it's usually the general format is we have a business meeting, and then we'll have a demo of some type. We'll have sometimes we'll have someone come in from out of town to show us a particular hand or style of writing, and then a lot of times we'll follow that up with a workshop in the afternoon, a continuation of the demo that we had, so people can get a chance to actually try to learn the hand themselves, and then we have, of course, the expert there that gave the demo, and they can sort of help people with the technique and critique what they're doing right and wrong type of thing. So it's really a lot of fun. People just come there, and it's a real learning opportunity every month to learn something more about calligraphy. So it's
I watched the program where you had the watercolor folks in
Yeah, yeah.
about the
The
publication and so
ink and
forth.
wash, yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you remark several times that you knew the people in
Several
that
of them.
group.
Yeah, yeah.
Same folks in our
Really?
calligraphy guild. Yeah, you should stop by sometime.
Yeah, yeah.
You will know a lot of them, and they're just nice people. I first moved to Waco. Or, well, actually, I'm living in Killeen, but the Waco area. And I thought, well, I'm going to look around for a calligraphy group because I kind of miss rubbing elbows with other calligraphers, and so I joined. And it's one of those things where you kind of join for the subject, and it's interesting, but you stay for the people. I mean, I find Waco and Central Texas people in general to be very friendly, and they just draw you in. It's very nice. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here as well, and I'm just amazed at your artistry and what you've been able to create. Some of the other pieces that you brought, you don't just stick with the Roman
No,
look,
no.
do you?
I branched off.
You branched off a little bit. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, this one that's next to me, is this for a business or what is this?
No. That was just a fun piece.
Okay.
I just took a pointed brush, basically, and frowsy things plumb vexed Jack Q. It's kind of a nonsense sentence, but
I was trying to figure it out. Yeah.
yeah, it's technically what it's called is a pangram, and a pangram uses every letter of the alphabet with none repeating.
Oh.
So they're kind of hard to invent, but there are a few that are kind of catchy and frowsy things. Who knows what Jack Hugh was flummoxed by?
Yeah.
But apparently they're frowsy things. So the other piece here that's multicolor is it's still a V cut, but I decided to challenge myself and cut away the background from the lettering itself. And so it's an abecedarial sentence. And so an abecedarial sentence uses all the letters of the alphabet with some repeating, you see. And so that's, for us lettering nerds, we get into.
yeah.
Never heard of any of this before. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated with this. But you do as well commission pieces for folks.
I do. I have several times, and over the years, I also travel and teach around the country. And I was very fortunate partnering up with Father when he was alive because he had a pretty good, I'll call it a fan base,
Yeah.
But he would get commercial jobs in for universities and museums and so forth. And so we always worked in slate. That's why I did my half-size Trajan inscription in slate. And slate is easy to work with because being a child of the Depression, Father was a recycler par excellence. So what we would do would be to find old schools that were being torn down. He always got the inside info. And we'd show up with my pickup truck and we'd pull the old chalkboards off the wall. Those are all pieces of slate,
Yeah, just gigantic ones.
gigantic ones, about quarter-inch thick.
Uh-huh.
And they're just as strong as they can be, in some cases stronger than marble, because in slate, it has a grain to it, but it's parallel to the surface. So that's why we can get such incredible detail, like the serifs
So
and everything else.
there's a grain to this.
A grain to the slate, yeah. And it runs parallel to the surface, so you're actually looking at,
I'm looking at the
So,
grain.
yeah.
Is that why?
and that's the way they would get the thinner
Yeah,
pieces of slate
just-
would be that they would split it on the edge. That piece of slate right there can be split into two equal pieces just by scoring along one edge and then driving, and splitting it. So,
Unbelievable.
yeah,
Well,
it's fun to work with.
I'm sure once you get into it and get the hang
Yeah.
of it, right, Robert?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Takes a lot of dedication. But that's like anything, as far as calligraphy is concerned. It just takes a lot of practice. I mean, the tools aren't generally expensive. You're talking about a pen and ink and some paper. So it's relatively low entrance fee to learn. And it's, like I say, can be quite rewarding as far as just a hobby, or, we have people that do it professionally and they are into weddings and the like too.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into your background and talk a little more about your watercolor as well. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Sonos Arc Ultra, and this is what you need to know about. It represents one of the easiest ways to get into high quality home cinema without loads of cables and faffing around. And that's because the Arc Ultra provides full Dolby Atmos without any rear speakers thanks to its sound motion technology. And Sonos is actually calling sound motion one of the most significant breakthroughs in audio engineering in nearly 100 years. It's an amazing setup, it sounds absolutely fantastic. I love the absence of fat. If you're a Sonos person, there's a reason you're watching this video.
It is fascinating to see how modern day artisans are keeping alive these ancient inscription techniques. Stay with us later in the show. Our good friends Michelle Johnson and Emily Mills from the Wacoan Presents Women of Interest podcast will be joining me.
Let's unbox the all-new Walking Pad X21. It is the hottest thing on the fitness market right now. Whew, I like it. I like it a lot. Well done, Walking Pad. So after using the Walking Pad, I absolutely loved it. For the price, I adore it. I highly recommend it.
And we're back again with Paul Herrera and Robert Borter, both officers in the Waco Calligraphy Guild. You guys, I guess, struck up a friendship through this. Is that how you met?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Paul, how long did you say you have been in Central Texas for, and what exactly brought you here?
Going on my 4th year.
Okay.
What brought me here was my eldest son. He
Kids have a way of doing that.
They
don't
do, yeah. And we were just happy as we could be up in Iowa, and we came down to Austin for the Formula One race,
Really?
which had become a tradition with me and my boys. And I guess my oldest son enjoyed Austin so much that he decided to take a job there. And so after a while, I realized I was sick and tired of the sun, or not the snow,
Yeah.
which slowly melted off by spring in Iowa, ice and so forth. And I said, I'm heading to Central Texas.
And Robert, you told me you're kind of a transplant here to Central Texas too.
And we do have grandkids that drew us here
Yeah.
too. So my son's a professor of music at Baylor, and
In what department? What does he do?
music. He's a cellist.
As a cellist. All right.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, and very, very busy with his music, and my daughter-in-law, his wife is an excellent violinist as well, and they have a duo, and they go around the country performing, and they've performed internationally too. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, they just got back from Japan where they had done some concerts there. So then I was really sort of a newbie to the whole calligraphy world there. Now Paul's an old hand, and so I was introduced to so much of the professional side of calligraphy. Last year, I think it was, they had a national calligraphy conference in San Antonio that I attended, and they had people from all over the world come in, either giving demos, classes, and displaying their work. So it was quite eye-opening. It's been a lot of fun.
And you were a presenter there. Is that correct? Or
I was a presenter at the international conference in Davenport.
Oh, in Davenport.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one in San Antonio was IAMPATH,
Yeah.
and that's an
Okay.
annual event.
Yeah.
And the International Calligraphy Conference is separate from that. And this past summer, 2024, the Chicago Guild decided to have it at St. Ambrose, which was home base for Father Kadich.
Sure.
And they came there because of him, because of the influence he had had, not only in Chicago when he was a musician and sign painter there, but also in the overall, I guess, attraction to calligraphy. Because, he started the art department at the college then, now university, in 1939 when he came back from Rome. And so that's he also was a printer, bought his own printing press, and that's how he published his books. He wrote the books, and then would publish them on his own printing press because he had gotten rejected after applying for Guggenheim back in the mid 40s. And so he decided if he was going to do it, he would just do it all himself. So he's basically a workaholic, just the kind of guy I wanted to partner up with, you know.
Oh yeah, you said he was could be a rough taskmaster though.
He was pretty tough taskmaster, yeah, yeah.
Right.
But as far as the Waco Calligraphy Guild, nice people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Somehow they selected us to be president and vice president, which I don't know about you, but I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I
said,
does
"Welcome."
not surprise me. About how many members do you have in Waco?
I think it's about 60.
Yeah, 60
My
plus.
goodness, yeah. So this is the read. Tell me about this.
The reed, yeah. Well,
you brought some tools.
That's some people are really into ancient tools. Okay, so this is one of the older tools that you can use to do calligraphy, and you can see that this has been used, and so has that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little larger, but it's basically just a piece of bamboo.
Yeah.
In fact,
I can see holes drilled in that and somebody
yeah.
playing it like a flute.
exactly, yeah. In fact, our British calligraphy friends call it the bamboo pen, but we call it a reed. And they used to be sold at hardware stores. People thought that they were plant stakes, but they were actually writing instruments. You see, you just
Really?
do a little dolling up. Yeah, you cut it a certain way at the bottom, and split it, and then put a little retainer in the hole, and it's just a natural writing tool. And in fact, Father Cat, the calligraphy program that I went through was so serious. We actually did assignments with these to begin with, and then we eventually moved on to the metal pen, and then the brush, of course. Being a sign painter, we all had to learn how to write with a brush and do all of that.
Fascinating.
The brush is not easy either. It takes a bit of skill to actually
So
do lettering with the brush.
is there a significance to the way the brush
Well, for a watercolor,
Is
it
built?
is, but not for a calligrapher. That's used generally like if you're wanted to scrape on your painting there to like bring a white area in, like say you have a darker, and then generally
what
that's
that's
why
for.
that is cut like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked at length not too long ago about your watercolor art. Let's talk a little bit about what you brought here today.
Yeah.
This painting right here. You're just inspired wherever you go. Did you
Yeah.
get this from a picture, or were you
No, that's
on that prairie?
Yeah, that was actually the Everglades.
The Everglades. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that was in
Yeah, just a
Florida.
storm over the Everglades there, and it was wintertime, so everything had turned sort of brown. Hadn't had any rain in a while, so that's where that was the inspiration for that painting. Now, my son used to live in. Well, I had two sons. One lived in Naples. The other one lived in North Miami Beach.
Okay.
So we would go down there, and I could take some beach scenes and things like that. So that's where that one came from.
He's a
So-
natural.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding, for sure. And then you kind of picked it up a little bit later in life.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, actually, when I was in high school, I did oil painting, which is completely different than watercolors. And so, just before COVID hit, I had started taking some lessons with a watercolor supplement in Virginia. But then COVID hit, and all that instruction sort of stopped for several years, and so I didn't take it back up until I got back here to Waco and found that they had a very active watercolor group. And it's nice to see there's we have a lot of cross pollination, so to speak. There,
Apparently.
people that are involved with both groups there, and there's a lot of the skill transfers back and forth between both of them, because you're involved with composition and a certain amount of mechanical skills involved as far as being able to either do lettering or being able to draw a scene. So it's sort of lends themselves hand in hand there. It's a lot of fun.
So, Paul, do you venture into the
Watercolor.
That watercolor or oils? Or
I went
anything?
through my watercolor phase.
Oh, did you? You had a
Yes.
watercolor
Mhm.
phase. All right.
And if you can do a good watercolor, you can do good oil painting.
What does creating something like this, what does it mean to you in your soul? I mean, I'm always fascinated to talk to artists.
Okay, so you're looking at me when you ask that
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I'm looking at you.
Well, it's like Robert said, the longer lasting elements of work are usually carved in stone, you know. So before you put something in stone, you have to really think about it, because unless you bust it up and throw it in the garbage yourself, it's going to be around a while. And so anything that I get ready to carve into a slate, which is the stone that I usually work with, although I've worked on other stones, I think a lot about it, and I try to make it a good design. Well, Frosty thinks going back to that was just kind of playful, you know.
Sure.
So nothing all that serious. It doesn't have to be super serious whenever I do something like that. But yeah, I think about it a lot, and I try to use permanent colors, being basically kind of a sign painting background. One nice thing about learning how to use a brush when you're in college is you can take on extra work to help you pay your way through college. So sign painters generally use one-shot sign painting. It's an oil base. Used to have lead in it. Of course, can't have lead anymore. But it lasts a long, long time, even on exterior work. So, and I've gotten involved in going back and refurbishing some exterior slate work that Father and I worked on, and some things that other apprentices before me have worked on. So there's a couple of exterior slates in Iowa City that need a little refurbishing, and it's just a matter of touching up the color, because the color generally lasts long, long time.
Yeah, it has to be quite rewarding for you
Oh yeah, yeah.
to do this kind of thing. Yeah, and Robert, what does it mean to your soul to be able to create?
Well, I think everyone has a creative bent. Sometimes people don't recognize it, that they might have it, but it shows up in all different ways. Paul, it's showing up in stone, me on paper, but you have people that do quilting and sewing and things like that are extremely creative. And the other arts that are out there, and I think it just fulfills a need people have to have that creative bent come out some way.
Yeah.
So it's rewarding for the people that do it.
And how wonderful that there are organizations like the Watercolor Society of Central Texas and the Waco Calligraphy Guild. So how can folks get in touch with you if they'd like to learn more?
Well, we have a website.
Okay.
So if they just Google Waco Calligraphy Guild, it should pop up. And like I say, we meet once a month. And
Where do you meet?
It's
St. Matthews.
St. Matthews, yeah.
Lutheran.
Episcopal Church, which is just on New Road there.
Okay.
So it's a centrally located place. The church has been very hospitable. We have a nice meeting room. And they've given us a storage area there too. So we have a large library of calligraphy books that people can check out and learn from. And so it's been a wonderful thing to have them support us the way they have. A lot of other calligraphy guilds in Texas, a lot of them have gone virtual because they haven't been able to find a good space to actually have a meeting in. And then if they're in a larger metropolitan area like Houston or San Antonio, a lot of times just the transit time to get to a meeting is very difficult just because the traffic's so bad. And so they've a lot of them have gone virtually, but we have been able to have an in-person meeting, and people can really visit, and a lot of friendships develop.
I'm just delighted that you were able to spend some time with me here today to talk about the Waco Calligraphy Guild. Again, Paul Herrera, amazing career you've had. It's so fascinating to learn about your work and to see you again, Robert Borter.
Yeah, well, thank you
Good
for
to have
having
you.
me again.
Good to have you both here with us. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Escape into fitness with the Schwinn IC4 bike, providing a premium, heart-pumping indoor cycling experience that combines digital connectivity with superior Schwinn quality. The IC4's smooth, quiet ride features magnetic resistance with 100 micro-adjustable resistance levels. Escape the everyday with the Schwinn IC4 bike, your ticket to a life well lived.
Be sure to subscribe to The Ann Harder Show on YouTube so you don't miss an episode. There's music ahead on today's show with Katie Stewart. Stay with us.
At Mapifil, we believe in celebrating your journey, past, present, and future. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence, elevate creativity, and honor what matters most. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapifil.com and start celebrating your story today.
I wake up and my dreams aren't true. You're not here like you used to. I lay and think, why did you have to leave? And our love, I truly did believe. You broke my soul but not my will. Now you're alone and I love you still. I know you know that I really care. He's right here, but my heart is there. You denied my heart. You denied my arms. We meet in dreams most every night. Now my life is haunted by a sharp, silent night. You touched my heart with a gentle hand. When you left, you beat me with rough commands. Not a word was spoken, just gone about your life. Now my life is haunted by a sharp, silent knife. You denied my heart. You denied my arms. We meet in dreams most every night. silent night. Now my life is haunted by a sharp, silent night.
Concerns, but also in providing top-notch preventative health care. We're proud to connect pet owners to a vast network of licensed veterinary professionals, ready to address any immediate concerns and expand access to pet care. Book your first appointment today.
With over 50 years in the industry, Arriva Hospitality Group has been delighting guests with unforgettable experiences across Mexico. Our investors enjoy trust and impressive returns, while our guests, whether on vacation or business, keep coming back for more fun and memories. At Arriva Hospitality Group, we are looking for investors who share our dream of making people happy while our investments grow. Take a closer look at arrivahotels.mx.
I just got my Colgate Advanced LED Whitening Treatment in the mail, and I am very excited to have dramatically whiter teeth in just 10 days. My teeth are going to be 6 shades whiter. The treatment is enamel safe and hassle-free. It's even designed for my sensitive teeth. Let's open it up. Inside we have the blue light whitening device. It's a charger for after-age treatment as well. There's a full 10-day supply, and it looks easy to apply. Order yours today at shop.colgate.com.
Hi, my name's Erica, and today I'm going to be taking you through my skincare routine using the Tasmanian Spring Water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself. It's packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid and fermented sea kelp to reduce redness and irritation, which I experience daily. So that's it. It's so quick and so easy, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.
And welcome back to the show. I am so happy to have Emily Mills here and Michelle Johnson. Yay, this is just a little dream come true. I just sort of bumped into you out in the foyer, and because you're here to record your podcast.
That's right.
And anyway, a little scheduling issue,
and
here
we are.
Our wonderful Joshua said, "Well, would you want to just go ahead?" I said, "I would. Would I ever?" Because I love both of you, and I'm so excited that you're doing a podcast called Wacoan Women of Interest.
That's right.
And in August, a year you've been doing this.
Which is crazy to think about. I consider myself quite the pusher for Michelle. I basically pushed her off the podcasting bridge. I think one night we were at an event for a local business, maybe Falcon and Owl opening night or something. And I met up with Michelle and just said, "How are you doing?" And somehow we got to talking about her dream of a podcast. And I said, "Well, why aren't you doing it?" And she was like, I don't know. I don't know. I just wish I had somebody to do it with. And I was like, "Well, I will."
I know.
When do we want to get started?
Kind of clicked,
How
and
perfect
then
you
I was
are.
like, okay, that will work.
Yeah.
Emily's the perfect co-host, and it's been great ever since. And 12 in, I think.
12 episodes.
That's amazing.
So, and it's been so wonderful. I mean, people ask around town. We get call-ins, and it's been such a nice addition to the Wacoan. So thank you.
Well, of course, the Wacoan is iconic in the city, of course, and it's so wonderful to see everything you're doing with that publication, Michelle.
Thank you so much.
And of course, when people ask me about this show, and I say, well, I love to tell the stories of people. You know, I refer to this a lot, that big sign on the side of the Magnolia building that says, "Everyone has a story worth telling." Yeah. But I said, if there's a poster child for what I like to tell, it's Emily and Brett Mills.
Oh,
no, truly, that you see a need, you say, yes, we'll do something. And then it becomes this huge thing that you would never have. And that's how Jesus, the elevator speech on how Jesus
Yeah.
Said Love got started.
That's right. 21 years ago, we started outreaches in Waco, and now we are Lovely Village because we really outgrew the name. We are a village of support for women, and we're launching residential. And we're thrilled that the city of Waco is behind us. Magnolia donated a 4-plex apartment complex to us. The city has gotten behind us for funding for renovations. And so now we're just continuing to raise support for all the programming needs and the jobs and everything else that we're doing. So,
And of course, the people that you're reaching out to are those who have been involved in the sex industry.
that's right. So women who've experienced sexual exploitation, trauma, and trafficking. So women who've experienced prostitution, online exploitation, or trafficking survivors. The cool thing, though, is that 80% of the women we reach are mothers, and our residences are going to involve women and their children. So this is different than anywhere else, really in Waco, that's allowing women who've experienced that unique set of trauma and their children to rehabilitate together.
Yeah. And what Magnolia has done really is a big deal. Because of the living quarters, and that's been an issue.
It has.
For a lot of these women who want to come out of that lifestyle.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to have a place to live.
You do. And we started with a job first model, and that's great. But if your whole paycheck is not going or is eaten up by rent or unsustainable rent, you don't have it. So our program is a 2-year free housing program. So by the time women graduate the 2-year program, they will have saved a nest egg. It gives them plenty of time to earn living wages or go back to school to land a job. But they're earning an income. They're saving their money. So in 2 years, they are going to have a chance at sustainable success.
Yes, and the city of Waco, them coming along, linking arms with you in this project, that's just been a remarkable
well, it's
thing.
huge. I was telling Michelle, it's like a 2-year, and 2-year vetting process of applying for these funds, and really just, it establishes, when the city of Waco gets behind you, it establishes a legitimacy to your organization because they do their work. Listen, they don't just give funding away.
Sure. Just anyone.
And
you want to know that that's the case.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
really,
You do
taxpayer.
as a citizen. Yes,
Exactly.
but it's not. It is a rigorous process, and I am so proud of our team. I'm so proud of Brett and our new COO Rebecca, and I mean they have been diligent.
Y'all have been working so hard. I was just so proud to
Thank
see
you.
y'all down there and your faces on Instagram and Facebook, and just that you have worked so hard doing something different with your organization too, with this
right.
model that you were doing. Because you not only started Lovely Village with, Jesus Said Love, having the ladies come and work by selling different products. And so they're working, but having a model, like you said, where they're going to have a place to stay and save.
Right.
And so do you have a program in mind, or have y'all set up a program?
Yes.
Which, tell us.
So the cool thing is that we're based on a national model called Thistle Farms out of Tennessee. So we have measurable outcomes that we can look at and say, Thistle Farms has been doing this housing and job model for 20 years. So we know what it takes. They are an open resource shared sister organization with us. So we can call them and say, hey, what do you do for intake? How do you do this with this situation? And they're just an incredible global model now. So we're excited to be following in their footsteps in Waco.
And the fact that this is happening in Waco, I think the first time I saw something about this was on your Facebook page. And you linked it into the reservation and the history. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, this is the other cool thing about the city of Waco getting behind
it was a red light district, okay?
Yes, the reservation was a red light district at the turn of the century from 1889 to 1917. And during that time, the city of Waco earned what would be today's estimation of $11 million off the backs of women who participated in legalized prostitution. The women were fined. The city denied them the ability to own homes. They denied their children public education. And oftentimes when women were arrested outside of the reservation because they couldn't leave the reservation unless they had an escort. And so if they were ever cited for vagrancy, oftentimes their children had to work off their debt. So this is what Waco was a part of, right? This is American history. This has happened all over America, but we know their names because their names are on a register at the Texas collection at Baylor. So we have who they were, maybe not all of them, but the ones that participated during that time. And so what it means, I think, for survivors is that the city of Waco no longer is saying, get out, we don't want you. They're saying, welcome home. This is really a beautiful story of restoration and repair.
Yeah. You hear a lot about reparations, but
this is it.
That's what this is too.
This is it.
It was a form of slavery.
Absolutely.
When you think about it.
Absolutely. And, the other harsh truth that we've recognized as we looked into it is that even on the reservation, racism existed. So you had oftentimes biracial women who were documented, but full black presenting women, full black women could not participate in legalized prostitution often. They had to perform in illegal prostitution, which set them up for more violence. And so, we're just learning so much. And I think that we're so excited as an organization because we get to be a part of that restoration. And, as a woman of faith, I get to say this is what it means from Isaiah when he says repair the breach and become a part of restoring the city and ancient dwellings. We get to be a part of restoring that ancient land that, we may have done it wrong, but that doesn't mean we can't get it right.
Oh, that makes my heart happy.
Yeah, me too.
As I'll be talking to Mayor Jim Holmes soon.
Good.
I can't wait to.
Good.
I'll pass along to him.
Please do. We're so grateful.
Your gratitude for this because high time.
Yeah,
Shall we
exactly.
say? Shall we say? Well, Michelle, let's talk a little bit more about the podcast. So, who all are some of the folks?
Yeah.
Who do you have a dream list of folks you want in the next year?
We've had a dream list, and we've already had a few of our some people that we've had on there already. But we would love to have. We've always said Coach Mulkey come back and have her on that. I think we would.
We're talking Kim.
Yes.
Okay, because there's another Coach
yes,
Mulkey.
Yes. No, we would like to have her on there
She's
too.
Awesome.
She's phenomenal. All of the national titles that she's
exactly
brought
right.
to
I've heard
Waco.
her make a speech. I've not had her sitting in here, which
I
I'd
would
love to
have her.
Yes,
as
Felicia.
well, Felicia. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then we had Dr. Tyra Warren Lindsay. That was. Did I say it right?
Lindsay Warren.
Lindsay Warren.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. I know
yeah,
I did it
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I love her.
She is phenomenal. She was on our podcast.
Good.
We had Help Me Out with
who have we have had so many people.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. No. We had
this whole interview was very much impromptu.
But the sex
none of us did our show prep.
Christy Hayes with Unbound Now.
Oh, okay, and she's also on my list. So I got her coming in. I was going to say
a wonderful interview and very fascinating, and lots of good things to learn from and know about that she has been working on, and it was a great
so
interview.
closely aligned with the work you and Brad have been
We've had
doing.
Andrea Bearfield.
She's
she's great.
Yeah.
That
We've
was
had
fantastic.
Veronica Thompson-Smith. Her episode just came out. We had my bestie, but Talk More Tech Less, Dawn Weibel.
Yes.
And she
and that was before everything
she went
happened
to the White House.
in Washington, D.C. We were able to talk to her about some policies that she was hoping would be because she had been interviewed in the magazine about some of those policies.
Right.
And then actually some of them happened. So that was very exciting.
That's
so
good to see
oh yeah, the fruits
Austin,
of your
both
labor.
Austin and Washington.
Yeah,
take note. Of
Michelle
some things.
has such an extensive list. I think this podcast is such an extension of what you're doing in the Wacoan. But she already has the section called Women of Interest, and I was like, you have a catalog. I mean, we could just go down the list.
Let's just do it.
Who you've got.
That's kind of what we've been doing.
That's fun. And of course, the folks here at Rogue Media, I can't say enough about
It's
how
been
wonderful
fantastic.
they are.
Oh, Jennifer Wilson with Spice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
We had her in talking about it. And then what's always so fun, Anne, is when we have them here, is we have connections from way back. And so
Oh,
then
yeah.
we start talking, and you had your bridal shower
Right, at Spice.
at Spice.
Yeah.
Did you really?
It's so funny when they first opened, when Brett and I got married, and it was like, this cool new place called Spice has a little brunch. Is when Jennifer was doing like
Oh, I
food.
remember it was up on the second floor. That wonderful.
And I had a little
like
bridal brunch.
cafe
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, it was so fun.
So we always find little connections
Yeah.
that,
Only in Waco.
yes.
You know,
Well,
so.
there,
It's been
yeah,
a lot of fun.
it definitely is still that small town feel, and be careful what you say about anybody because somebody's going to know.
Always.
It's so true.
Always.
Not that I'm. There's not anybody want to say anything bad about
No,
in
but
this
there's
town.
always a connecting feel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
no,
makes
it is.
Waco wonderful to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
That it always has that connection. And stories. And what we wanted to do with the podcast was lift it off of the page.
Yeah.
So dive deeper into, like we were going to have, Carol Ferguson is coming with Keep Waco Beautiful, which you just had
Yeah,
on.
I just had her on the show. Yeah,
So I was
that's one of my
listening
first
to
ones.
your podcast and doing something a little bit different from your podcast to, ask her more questions about her life of, what she is doing with her kids or where she loves to shop or where she's going with her husband on a date. I mean, just something a little bit different.
Oh, that's fun.
Instead of, y'all talk about gardening, but I don't know anything about gardening. So
Oh yeah, I can really get off in the tall weeds when we start talking about gardening.
and I loved it. I was listening to it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what zinnias or y'all were talking about. So I knew that I wasn't going to ask about that, but I'm going to ask about a certain other thing.
It's interesting. Women are just full of, what makes us as people so unique is the life that we live up to and with the things that we do. What we do today is so formed by not just doing, but who's impacted our lives and who did we connect with over the fruit section at the grocery store and who taught our kids in school and it's all those things that make up people. And so I think that's what's been fun is digging into the story behind the woman. It's been really fun.
Well, it's a wonderful podcast, and I'm so happy that we had this chance. I like to end these little visits, though. You've heard this before. It's been a while since you were on the
were
podcast.
in the old location.
It was a long time ago. Okay, so it's just a little short questionnaire based on what James Lipton would do on Inside the Actors Studio. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Okay. So what is your favorite word?
Right now?
Mhm.
Okay. What is
Beautiful.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know why I'm into this word, but I have been saying tactile a lot.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't know. That's
a good word.
It's like I want to feel it. I
You
want
wanna feel
to get
it.
my hands in it. I want to, tactile.
What's your least favorite word?
I don't even like moist.
I've heard that from other people.
It's terrible.
I've heard
I don't
that
like
from
it.
other people. Yeah,
I just don't like
I
it.
know.
And we get it a lot in the summer.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
'Tis the time of year.
Yeah, icky. I don't, yeah.
Sticky.
Icky or sticky.
Okay.
I guess.
What turns you on creatively, emotionally, or spiritually?
Well, connection.
Yeah.
Connection with other people. Beauty around like a space that I'm in. That really does.
Adventure is close to my heart, so often I need to get away. And usually it involves like nature. So it doesn't have to be far.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's down to Cameron Park or the river, I'll go sit by the river and just have space and time in nature. Yeah.
So what turns you off creatively or spiritually or emotionally?
Negative people.
Spreadsheets.
Okay.
Numbers.
That was easy.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite sound?
It's on my noise machine right now, and it's when I go to bed. It's number 2 setting on this little hatch alarm I have, and it's like a warm brown noise. It is my favorite in all the world, and I got my daughter hooked on it, and she's like, I can't sleep without it now. I'm like, I know.
Warm brown noise.
It's a warm brown noise.
I've
It's
got to
like
look that up.
It's like a womb. It's like a
Oh.
wind, like a womby, like you're in your mother's womb almost. It's like the ocean, but it just keeps on waving. It's just
Wow.
it's really good.
Learn something new
Uh-huh.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, brown noise.
Detailed and so always just, I love listening
Tactile.
to you. Yes.
Extremely.
Yes. I love the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too simple, but I do.
So, what about a least favorite sound?
The way my dog barks. He's a mini Aussie, and he's got a very high pitched.
Oh.
It's a squealing.
Piercing.
Yeah.
Least
favorite.
Least favorite sound. Yeah, just just squealing.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's chalkboard stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
come on, that's
that's
awful.
probably my
That's
all-time.
awful. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What job would you like to have tried?
Ooh.
I definitely know I would have loved to be a background singer or like you know this about me. I love singing.
Amazing voice.
So
Wonderful voice.
I think
Yeah.
there's part of me that for sure always
Yeah.
wishes like maybe even if not a background singer, like musical theater. That's a tiny part of my history, and it just didn't happen. And I think I still love and I'm drawn to it for sure.
All right.
I think that I would have loved to have gone to New York and pursued something there.
Yeah,
but just,
big city.
Yeah, just didn't, and maybe would have done something. Don't know what it would have been, but you know.
What job though do you know you wouldn't want to do,
Oh gosh,
Michelle?
I could not working in like a jail or something like
Yeah.
that. That would be hard.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, this is going to sound terrible, you guys. I love Jesus, and I couldn't work at a church. I love Jesus, and I love the church.
I know.
But don't make me work
I've
in a
heard,
9 to
I've
5.
heard enough stories from people on
be-
church staffs to
No.
totally get it.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Emily,
that's
you're
mine.
awesome. Okay, but as we move along, final question. What do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, welcome home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go have fun. Have fun.
Well, this has been fun for me to have Emily Mills and Michelle Johnson. Totally unexpected happening this was.
Thank you.
But I'm so happy you all got to be a part of it out there in our wonderful audience. And check out their podcast, Wacoan Women of Interest.
That's it.
Women of Interest. Thanks for joining us for this segment. We'll be right back.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. It's the first FDA-cleared birth control app. No hormones, no side effects. And 93% effective with typical use. And 98% effective with perfect use. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
Thanks for being with us. On tomorrow's show, we hear from a China Spring man who was rescued along with his wife from deadly flooding on the Rio Doce River just last week. And Susan Cowley tells us of the great work and expansion of Talitha Kum Institute. Have a great day.